Hi guys, welcome back. This is part 2. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the gearbox into the upper and the lower, make sure everything fits fine, and then basically shoot the gun. Get basically back down to the 0 mark of making sure the gun works, feeds, and fires correctly. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and start the upgrade process. So here we go. In the last video I took it all apart. But now all I have to do is take off essentially the heat shield on the top part. I can leave this on now. You may be thinking in your head, why are you taking it apart, putting it back together all that time over and over? That's just better in the long run. That's just my method of making sure everything fits just right. Otherwise it'd be more headache. And maybe one day when you're super skilled doing your videos, you can show everybody super fast shortcuts and making the airsoft world one better place, one video at a time.
One video at a time.
Put that aside, put this aside, and go ahead and grab these parts. And now looking at it, a little wiggly there. Everything I already shot it earlier, and it seemed to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and notice this is off a little, so I've got to loosen this and realign it. Let me go ahead and start putting all this back together though. Okay, just drop that in. There's this part. Okay. Grab the little pin, just pop it in there, just press it, okay. And noticed that the outer barrel is a little loose, even though I have this tightened down all the way. So a little trick could be due to various production runs of the parts, but a simple trick is add a piece of electrical tape. Yeah, some people frown on the tape use, but sometimes it does come in handy. Not a crucial part, but just to kind of absorb any wiggle waggle. Let's use my safety scissors, bright colors. And just wrap around like so. I'm just going to press. Yeah, it feels much better. There's no slack now. Sometimes after a lot of use for any airsoft gun, parts will become loose. You will have to tighten them up. Either use, like you can use Scotch tape for some parts, electrical tape, or even some Loctite. Just kind of fill in the little cracks, prevent the wiggle. Okay, now I got it tightened down, and it's super sturdy. Just a smidge more. Perfect. Okay, now I can continue. Drop the gearbox in. Oh, don't want to forget this. Okay, drop the pin back in. Just press with any little tool. Okay, almost there. Oh, one thing I forgot. Probably squeeze it in there before. So I didn't tighten it all down. Still have the ability to go back, add the needed part. For this, I'm just making sure it's lined up for the vertical position. Maybe later have to notice a little notch here. Probably have to slide it back once I fit it into the lower, but for now, just make sure that it moves freely. That's all I'm looking for. Also, for the M14 series, make sure use any sort of punch-like material and slide in there. Make sure that you don't have the BB tube and the magwell tube offset. You want to make sure they're lined up, otherwise you're going to have a BB going halfway and stop and take it all apart. Yep. Okay, now you can flip this over, add a little pop-up cover. Oh. Gotta make sure it catches on either end. Okay, there we go. Don't forget that little spring. Balance it just right. Look at the spring in a little hole on the side. Press it in there. Notice how the pin is bent, kind of holds it in place. A little tip you guys can do. Okay, now I can just tap it in and I'm good. Okay, one thing I noticed is I did have this too far forward. So when you pull back the charging handle, it goes off track. I'm going to go ahead and put it back there. Tighten it. It should be good. Okay. This just came off. I'll have to probably solder on some silicone wires. Low resistant. Let's make this a little better. Okay, that wire will be fun later on. Okay, now I'm just lining up the stock release button. Okay, there we go. Got this piece of super tactical tape. Actually is there for a reason to hold the wire in place. It may look tacky, but it's the job done. Okay, now before I slide it back in, I have to make sure switch to full auto and try to slide it back without breaking this super taped up wire. That's not gonna work. Kind of press on it, hold it in place. There we go. Okay, now this is off at a slight angle. Let me loosen this. I can turn it. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and tighten halfway to hold it in place. Okay. You go ahead and test fire this gun, make sure I didn't pinch any wires. If I did pinch wires, you would either start smoking or get really hot and it'll feel any temperature. Okay. So far, so good. Still need to get another trigger guard for this. And I believe the handguard. He might still have the handguard at his place, but I'll put one on just for video purposes. Okay, now for the back part, I need to, okay, now I just gotta, don't know if you guys can see in there, after this little spring, go up like that. Now I need a little plate cover to go like that. Yeah, you guys can see. Okay. Then the little screw. Tighten this. So now basically when I pull down on here, it adjusts so you can have the tube go through here. Stock adjustment. Put this on, and then all I have to do is shoot the thing. I'll need another trigger guard for it. To go find that. Okay, now I noticed that it's not going together smoothly like it was before. So I have to actually cut. Looks like it's just getting caught up on here. So let me cut this real quick. There's a Dremel tool. 1 second. Test fit it. Nope, a little more. Okay, now it's good to go. Just cut a little on here, you can see. I'm going to put the parts in, start cranking them down. Okay, now I have the upper heat shield on. It's all bolted down. Need to add a little oil there. That's good. Okay, let me go find a replacement trigger guard and let me go ahead and shoot this. Okay, I'm back now with a replacement trigger guard. Let me go ahead and pop this on. Pop it in place. And now I have a trigger guard. Safety. Okay. Measuring with 0.2 BBs. Echo 1 BBs, of course. Okay, it locks in. It's good. Not going to fall out. Go ahead and shoot this. Okay, shooting about 304 FPS. Perfect for indoor use, but that's the price you pay for having an old gun, I guess, sitting and probably used a lot, left spring compressed over the weekends. So right now shooting about 300, but in the next video I'm going to go ahead and start working on the gearbox and making it shoot well over 400. The target goal is 450 FPS with semi-auto only. So this has been Brian from Echo One USA, and thanks for watching.